Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to talk a little bit about today is your hybrid shots off the fairway and how we can get a lot more consistency when you're playing these shots. And that word consistency is the most common word that comes up in lessons. People come to me and say, look, I can hit good shots, but I'm not doing it as consistently as I'd like to. And we're going to show you 3 or 4 things that I think cause those problems. Why is it not consistent? The interesting thing always with golf, everybody can play a good golf shot, but the better players just do it more often, and what they have then is a consistent routine to what they're doing when they're playing, and that's why they have the consistency that we want. We're going to show you how to do that today. So we're going to look at about 3 or 4 different things. So we're going to start with setup. Setup for me is so important. And what we're looking at here, I've got my 21 degree hybrid club, and let's actually first of all, let's talk a little bit about equipment. So for me, what's really important is unless you are swinging it like a tour player, you need loft on your club. One of the clubs I don't like the amateur golfer having is a 3-wood off the fairway, because I don't believe you generate enough club head speed. And that's why these hybrids or even little 7-woods have become great golf clubs, and I'm sure a lot of you are having a lot of success with them. And the reason being is they've got loft. And that's really important in your setup. You need loft. Even as a professional golfer, my straightest face hybrid is 21 degrees of loft. I'm going to show you as we go through this video why that's so important. But I want to make sure I've got loft, because I want to get the ball up in the air. That's the number one priority. I don't want the ball running along the ground. Every time the ball is going along the ground or too low and hitting the ground, it's losing energy. So one of the biggest things you want to see, get the ball airborne. Really important. So in your setup, the first thing we're going to talk about is the club itself. Make sure that when you set up to the shot, that club face, when it sits on the ground, it is sitting nice and flat on the ground, and you've got all that loft. As I said, I've got 21 degrees of loft on my club. I want to use as much of that as I can. And what we're going to show you in the setup, something I was taught as a junior golfer, was to feel like you were sweeping the ball off the fairway. And we're going to show you actually what you want to do is you want to be hitting a little bit more down on it. So by having an extra couple of degrees of loft is going to give you a lot more success, which is what we're after. And that's the key thing that we're looking for as we go through these shots. So setup wise, what we're going to make sure we do is make that club, when it sits on the ground, make sure it sits flat on its bottom. The second thing we're going to look at with the setup is how you grip the golf club. Now, this is one of the lightest clubs in your bag. So it's not so much about the positioning of your hands, it's how hard you're gripping that golf club. The tendency is most people, because they want to hit it a long way, will grip it harder. Because it's one of the lightest clubs, you want to make sure that you can feel the weight of the club head. So grip it lightly to be able to feel that. Not loose, that's a word I hear a lot. People want a loose grip pressure. Loose suggests the club's going to come out your hands. We don't want that either. Okay, or it's going to twist as you swing. So you must have a secure grip pressure. From there, you can feel the weight of the club head. So that's the starting point really for me in the setup. And now we're going to look at 2 other key positions. The one I see changing all the time with golfers is ball position. Now, I want you to have the mental picture that you are slightly striking down on the ball. Okay, I see a lot of golfers, and what we've done here, we've put a club down on the ground here to show ball position. They'll play it off their front foot, thinking, well, that's going to help get the ball up in the air. The chances are you're more likely now to hit the middle of the ball and lose any height. You'll hit it very thin and it will just run along the ground. As we said, you'll lose energy that way. So here's a very simple way with your hybrid how to get this set up. I've got a club here, and all I'm going to do is put my feet on the club, and then I'm going to go 1/3 this way, 2/3 this way. And that gives me a ball position just fractionally forward of centre. But it's going to give me, with the length of the club, the opportunity to hit down onto the ball. Okay, and that's what I really want to feel. The second club we've got here is just running parallel to where I want to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm getting a consistency in that setup. If I get my feet toe line equal distance to this club, and then I do my 1/3, 2/3, I'm always going into the same position. And that's really important. If your setup's consistent, there's a great opportunity now your swing's going to be consistent. So that's really number one. Setup, and we talked about there, the club, the grip, the ball position and alignment. Now the next thing is the mental picture. What do I want from this club? And if you've watched a lot of my videos, we talk a lot about playing to your level. So for me, I need to play to scratch, to play sort of as a professional golfer, I need around about 200 yards from this club. So that's what I'm going to develop in my swing. If you are somebody playing off 18 handicap, you may only need 160 yards from this club. You don't need to hit it 200, but if you've got the ability to do it, we're never going to stop you doing it. That's really important to understand. But if you can hit it 150, 160 consistently straight, you can play bogey golf. So mentally, you're getting the right picture in your mind of how you're going to play the shot to get the desired result as you go through. So that's the next step, is that mental picture. What do I want from that? And that will help with the swing itself. And what I always feel with my hybrid is, I want to feel I'm going to make a good connection on the ball. That's the number one priority. So in my swing, I always want to feel the swing is within myself, but I also want to feel the path of the swing, the way I'm coming back into the ball, is going to give me the consistency of the strike. And what you'll find is if you can hit solidly into the back of the ball, you'll get the distance. And then amazingly, if your path is correct, you won't start to alter the club face. So the shaping of the shots, the slice and the draws and the hooks will all start to disappear. So the path is the priority. So what I feel in my swing, again, a lot of my videos and a lot of people pick up on the length of my swing, and I'll just hit a ball just to sort of get that idea in your mind. So let's go through our routine. So let's stick to this all the time. We're going to hit half a dozen balls in this between now and the end. Get that right. So 1/3, 2/3, parallel to where I want to be. Let the club sit flat on its bottom. From that position, secure but light grip pressure. And now I just want to feel a nice rhythm in the swing. Okay, and that one we struck lovely. Now here's the important bit. We're talking about consistency. Don't change a thing. I've just hit that exactly as I want to hit it. And I see this a lot. And then they'll try and chat, oh, how can I get another 20 yards? I don't need another 20 yards. If you've hit it well, train yourself to do it again. So let's do that again, okay? Done that well. Again, we're just reacting to what's happening within the lesson here as we're going through it. So 1/3, 2/3, parallel, club sitting flat. From there, just think of the rhythm, nice light grip pressure. Not quite as good as the one before, but because I stuck to the same process, it's finished about 5 yards less. So I'm never going to complain at that. And this is the important thing. We're talking about the physical side and the swing, but actually it's the mental side is the most important thing, because I'm keeping a consistency to what I'm doing. I'm not suddenly putting the ball position over here. I'm not suddenly having my feet at this angle. I'm not suddenly trying to hit it harder. Those two things have worked well. I've advanced it probably up our practice ground because it's slightly uphill, about 180, 190, which is absolutely fine. I want to feel that again when I go to the next shot and keep that routine. Now, all I have to help me with that path of swing is always, for me, is I want to feel in control of my backswing, and I want to feel my arms, for me personally, I want to feel my arms drop, connect to my body. That's my feeling. When I do that well, I get the results that I want. Okay, so let's go through the routine again. All right, we'll hit a couple more shots. So 1/3, 2/3, club sits flat, nice light grip pressure, nice and powerful. Done all those, forget that. Now we're just thinking, same rhythm and tempo. Okay, and that's 3 balls. I'm not going to have to walk very far to go and pick them up in a minute when I finish my practice. So really, really important that I'm getting that consistency. And also the mark I'm making in the ground. Very slight little mark in the ground. Not digging deep. I'm not trying to pick it off. I'm just letting the club come down because I'm trusting the ball position. Do one more. 1/3, 2/3. Let the club sit flat. Light grip pressure. From that position, nice and balanced, rhythmical swing. Good, got the strike that I wanted. So if I was honest, I've hit 2 there that I'd think, well, I'd never ask for them back again. And I've hit 2 that I'd go, they're okay, they'll work. I'll get the consistency that I want. I'm down there somewhere. And they're all in play. They'll all be down the fairway, they'll all be doing what I want. But the only way that's worked, and we're back to the very first thing we said, I've maintained the consistency throughout. I haven't suddenly thought, oh, I'll change this, I'll do this, I'll do this. If you want to develop the skill differently, then create that idea and stick to that idea as you go through it. Don't fall into the habit, which is what golfers do. Every shot seems to be different. If every shot's different, you're going to be inconsistent. If you can get into the mindset of thinking to yourself, do this, do this, do this, and find a routine and a process and a pattern, it's amazing how you'll start to get the results that you want. I would take this idea into your fairway woods as well. Okay, and if you are somebody who maybe prefers playing a longer iron, exactly the same thing. But actually, if we're honest, do it with every club. But you will find with those setup points that we've given you, your fairway woods, your hybrids, you are going to get so much more consistency with the shots, which is what we're after. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's really working on those clubs, really what I call maintainer clubs. It's about getting you down the fairway, giving you that chance, that second shot on the par 5, maybe a long shot par 4, may even be a tee shot on a par 3. But it gets you in position, it gives you a really good opportunity to get the results that you're looking for on those particular shots. It's such a difference. If you can advance it, as I said, 160 to 200, you're doing great. You will play anywhere between bogey golf and scratch golf if you can do that. If you have enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. If you have subscribed, remember to press that little bell. What that does, it reminds you when the videos are coming out. I have videos that come out every Tuesday and Friday, hopefully giving you some ideas that will help your golf both technically, mentally and physically on the golf course. That's the whole idea of my channel. I look forward to seeing you again soon.